Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivracharya Astuttara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaputale Srimati Tamal Krishna Goswamiti Namini. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaputale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Nice to see all of you. Thank you for coming on this Sunday. You could be doing so many things. But you're here, so I'm grateful for that, and I'm sure the deities are also very grateful to see all of you here. So thank you for that. Actually, His Holiness Ritatva Swami was supposed to be giving class, but I think something came up, and so I'm the stand-in. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Lord Nityananda, because just a few days ago on Friday, that was the appearance day of the Lord Nityananda. If you look at the extreme left altar, there are two personalities on the top altar and the bottom altar. They are holding their hands up like that. So the one on your left is Lord Nityananda. Okay. So that on Friday was his appearance day, and so I'll speak a little bit, just a little bit, and then I'll also speak about Varahadeva. There's another incarnation of the Supreme Lord. The Lord sometimes come in different forms just to help people. So that was on Thursday. So that was another appearance day. So over the millions of years, the Supreme Lord comes in different forms just to attract the living entities. And that's the main reason why he comes. As living entities, we have become, you can say, inimical, or we have refused to serve the Supreme Lord. And therefore, because of our reluctance to serve him, he has provided this earthly planet for us to learn some lessons, that the place here is not that great. and that if we are able to understand that, then maybe we can go back to the spiritual world where we came from. So that is the main reason why you often find the Lord coming in his different forms, or we say avatars or incarnations like that. So when Krishna came 500 years ago, for many reasons, one of the reasons was he wanted to actually find out how his greatest devotee, his consort, Srimati Radharani, could actually love him. And he wanted to find out how she's so attracted to him. And he wanted to taste those things. And so he came 500 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the left altar, the deity on the right is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? The one on the left is Nityananda. So he came. And whenever Krishna comes, Balaram, his brother from the spiritual world, also come with him. Now, the spiritual world is not something that is without any dynamic relationship. It's actually full of dynamic relationship and emotions. And so even the Supreme Lord has a family. And they're all spiritual. So it's possible. And so Balaram, his older brother, he comes also. And that he comes in the form as Lord Nityananda. Okay. And the advent that happened was in a village called Ekachakra in Bengal. And he took birth as the son of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. This has happened like 500 years like that, yeah. And the boy was very, very intelligent from the day he was born. He could do so many things. He was immersed in the pastimes of Krishna, and he would reenact all kinds of pastimes from Ramayana to Mahabharata, and he was always enjoying those pastimes. So the parents could see the little boy was very much into devotional activities. And so one day when he was around 12 years old, a visiting mendicant, or you can say sannyas, a renunciant, he came and visited Hadai Pandit and his wife. And as is the custom in India in those days, when such mendicants come, they always offer them whatever they want, they can ask. So the mendicant or the sannyas, he stayed for a day, and both Hadai Pandit and his wife served him very nicely. Whatever he wanted, they took care of his needs. Everything was done well. And the sannyas was always speaking about Krishna's pastime. And the little boy, Nitai, was so much into it. So he started sitting with the sannyas and started asking many, many questions. And the sannyasi was very attracted to the boy because, he was so beautiful also. It is said that he had the appearance of like a white dove or a cloud, white cloud. So he was very fair complexioned, and he had beautiful lotus eyes, and he was very beautiful. So the sannyas who was at the home of Hadai Pandit and Padmavati became attracted to the little boy. So on the day when he was leaving, both Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, they asked the sannyas, whatever you want, we will give you. And guess what? The sannyasi said, I want your son. They only had one son, But Hadai Pandit had made the promise that whatever you want, I'll give. So, and like I said, it was a custom in those days, you know. You can say, thank God, it's not something nowadays, right? Or you may say, I hope it was the same custom so I can give my children away. But it wasn't then. Huh? So anyway, being truthful, he gave his son, a 12-year-old boy, to the mendicant, and then he became very, very heartbroken, both the husband and wife. But in any case, the sannyasi took Nitai and he traveled all over India. Particularly, they were in Vrindavan. And whilst they were in Vrindavan, one of the holy places in India, they met one of the greatest acharyas. Some of you may have heard of him. His name was Madhavendra Puri. So when Madhavendra Puri met both the sannyas and the little boy, the boy got very attracted to Madhavendra Puri. And after a while, Madhavendra Puri initiated him, gave him Diksha, like that. So this personality, Nitai, later on, he wanders around the Vrindavan, and then he's always in the swoon of the holy names, chanting, thinking about the pastimes, and crying often. These are symptoms of love of God, you know. And when he heard, there was his... when he heard about Nimai, which is Lord Chaitanya, when he was becoming very popular in Navadvip, he then made his way to Navadvip to meet. It's natural, because when Krishna is there, Balaram is always there. So Balaram, in this case Nityananda, went quickly to meet Nimai or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when they both got together, this Hare Krishna movement actually started. The Lords, both Nitai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, decided that the world was suffering because people didn't know their relationship with God. They just couldn't understand. They were pursuing material things, but as we all know, material things are temporary. You can get something out of it, but you cannot be happy completely. Because just as you think you are happy, it disappears. Just like ice cream, no? Right? You buy an ice cream, you're licking on it, you're thinking this is so good, and then that's the last drop, and it's gone. And as you all know, those who study economics, that's a marginal utility principle. You know, how many ice creams can you eat, right? So the joy is not there. Second and the third ice cream don't taste as good as the first one. So that's material world. Whatever happiness you are experiencing, it's not really satisfying in the long run. So the Lords, both Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, decided to help the people. And so they would travel around and then coax the general population to take up chanting the holy name. Now this mercy of the Lord, particularly Lord Nityananda's mercy, comes down through this disciplic succession, from the spiritual master to the disciple, and from that disciple to his disciple onwards. So in the same way, Lord Nityananda's mercy is coming through our predecessor Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So he, out of his vast compassion for all of us, decided to come to this part of the world in 1965. As Maharaj was saying, he took the boat. You know, those days there was no airplanes. So for about 1-2 months, he was traveling in the boat in high seas, suffering 2 heart attacks, almost dying. Still, he felt he needed to help all of us in the West suffering, trying to enjoy where there's no enjoyment. So it is said by the learned personalities and saints in our disciplic succession also, having studied carefully, they have analyzed and said that Srila Prabhupada is an exceptional personality. He has been endowed by the special empowerment and mercy of Lord Nityananda. So he has been invested with this potency, and that is why you find that wherever Srila Prabhupada went in the 70s, he made hundreds and hundreds of devotees. He used to say, I made all the, he did say that, I checked it out. He said, I made the hippies into happies. Right, so Lord Nityananda, from our scripture understanding, he is the original guru, because he teaches us how to actually love Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna 5,000 years ago came and spoke the Bhagavad Gita, he, we can say he demanded full surrender. Sarva dharmam parityaja. Just surrender, give up all other activities, just surrender unto me. But the thing is, it is easy to say surrender, but a lot of us, we may think, what is surrender? What do you mean by surrender? How do I surrender? So both Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya came to teach us how to surrender, how to understand the instructions in the scriptures that we read. Sometimes we can read the Bhagavad Gita and you get some information, but actually how to practice it, it may not be so easy to understand through the pages itself. So you need a guide like that. So that is why you find people like Srila Prabhupada. He came to show how one can actually learn to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you know. Celestial music. So this mercy that Srila Prabhupada was extending to everyone is said to come from Lord Nityananda himself. And he is the original guru. Means he teaches us in his behavior with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda didn't act like he is a supreme person himself. Rather, he acts like he is the servant of his master, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was showing us exactly how we also can learn to be a servant of God. And then you will find that in serving and in following the instructions of the scriptures, you'll find that you are able to then develop this ability to actually love. Unless you are guided properly, the ability to love does not manifest on its own. It's not possible. You can't just go and say, I'm going to love the Lord, you know. It doesn't work like that. It's a reciprocal activity. Devotional service is a reciprocal activity. That means whatever activities you do, the Lord is, you're having a relationship with the Lord. And He can see you're doing it exclusively for Him. And that exclusivity is what invokes this connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? You will not do anything for anyone just like that, right? You will do it for your children because there's some kind of affection there. But you will find that as you take up these devotional activities, that there's an awakening in your heart. And that awakening enables you to actually develop a loving sentiment. And this loving sentiment is not a mundane sentiment. It is a true feeling that will develop in the heart. But it's not something that you can develop overnight. Well, for some maybe, but not for the general popular. It takes a lot of understanding, a lot of austerity. This garland's too heavy. So one of the things about Lord Nityananda is that as a representative of the Supreme Lord, as the spiritual master, original spiritual master, they do not alter the scriptures. So we also found the same qualities in Srila Prabhupada also. So that's one of the reasons, if you look at the book, right? Look at the book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. He says that. Means I'm not putting any extra things there. I'm not changing what Krishna spoke. I'm just presenting it as it is, right? That means they don't change the scriptures or the teachings of Lord Krishna. But rather, what did Prabhupada do? He made it more accessible, easily understandable. The language he uses, it's very easy to understand. But as I said earlier, even though some of you may read and understand some aspects of it, but to really get to the crux of it, you need to be guided. You need that mercy of a devotee. This is called Guru Parampara, or disciplic succession. So it is wanted. Otherwise, you will not understand the mood and the mission of the Acharya. It is not possible. Unless you associate with like-minded people, you will not get their feelings and the reason behind their intent. So therefore, it is very important to think that who is going to guide me? Even Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, when he was bewildered, he asked Krishna, you please guide me because I am bewildered. I'm not sure how I'm going to make choices. And I'm not sure if my choice will be a good one or not. So he himself took shelter of a spiritual master. So in the same way, we need to have the proper guidance. So Lord Nityananda's exemplary mood of vigorous, compassionate preaching was also exhibited by Srila Prabhupada. He came to the West. He went through so much difficulty. And even at one point, he again suffered a heart attack and almost died. And then he said, I have to go back to India to recover. So he quickly goes back and comes back to teach them because he's very old, He's not a young man like most of us are. But he was in his 70s at that time. So the Guru is one of the things that we have to understand is the Guru is the incarnation of Lord Nityananda. Anyone strictly following the instructions of the Guru is actually following Lord Nityananda. It's very, very clear, If you follow the spiritual master, you're following Lord Nityananda. Another principle is one have no access to Lord Chaitanya, who's Krishna, without the exclusive mercy of Nityananda. Okay, so unless Lord Nityananda grants you the audience of Mahaprabhu, you can't get that. So there's a pastime also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there in the village of Panihati, Raghunath Das Goswami, he wanted to join the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu told him, no, you stay at your home, work it out with your family because they will miss you and so on. But don't just run away like that until the time is right. So then Raghunath, because he directly approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu told him, no, you take it easy first. You go through the purification and there will be a time when you will be ready. But then the Acharyas explain that actually he cannot directly go to the Supreme Person like that. So none of us can. So like our prayers to Krishna cannot be direct to him, but first we have to acknowledge the Acharyas. And that's one of the reasons we have the pictures right in front of them. All these teachers, if you look on the altar in front of Krishna, Radha and Krishna, in front of all the altars you see there are teachers. So you need a spiritual master to guide you back, to connect you. You need that connection. You cannot just on your own say, I will make my own bridge. Yeah, go ahead. But your foundation is not strong enough, the bridge will collapse. Yeah. But if the if you are in the proper disciplic succession, the bridging is solid, the foundation is solid. So therefore, you can access the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is something that we have to also understand consciously, that to access Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have to go through Nityananda. So Raghunath Das Goswami then finds out that Lord Nityananda is in Panihati. And so it's near the bank, he is near the bank of river Ganges. So he quickly goes there, but he doesn't approach Nityananda close. He stays very far away and he pays obeisances. And then when Lord Nityananda sees him, he says, bring that thief. He's trying to take mercy from me without coming to me. So that's another reason he calls him a thief, because he's trying to access Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without Nityananda's mercy. So anyway, the Lord is so pleased with him. He blesses him. And then when Raghunath Das Goswami goes back to his home, things change a little bit. And finally, he's able to leave his home. And his family members do not come after him anymore. He had tried to run many times to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but his parents would capture him and bring him back. Right? It was like that. So finally, when he got that mercy, he was able to go back. Now, Lord Nityananda also, and Maharaj also explained on Thursday, is especially renowned for saving two drunkards. The famous drunk brothers, Jagai and Madai. They were so incorrigible. Incorrigible means you cannot help these people. No matter what you say, they won't bend to any good instructions. So finally, both Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they were saying, it's easy to approach pious people. And then when we talk to them about the philosophy of Krishna and so on, they are willing to accept. But the real challenge is all these other people who don't accept the Supreme Lord. And then they say, we must show to the people the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so then they say, there are two guys who are terrible in this whole village. And then they pointed to both Jagai and Madai. So interestingly, Nityananda, when he approaches Jagai and Madai, the first time he fails. Rather, Jagai and Madai want to beat them up, and so they run away. And then Haridas Thakur is like, look, I told you not to go, and you forced us to go now, they almost beat us up. So then Nityananda said, yeah, I can understand. But then again they try a day later, because they wanted to show that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is universal. It is even for the most fallen. You don't need any qualification. You don't have to have PhDs, MS, whatever, All you need was the mercy of the Lord. They wanted to show that. So finally they approach both Jagai and Madai, and there is a problem when, I think, Madai hits, right? With a pot, and then he injures Lord Nityananda. And then at that moment the news travels to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he really gets angry. And then as Mahaprabhu, he is very compassionate. But when he heard that Nityananda was hurt, cut in his forehead, the Lord took the position of Krishna, and then he manifested the disc. And he wanted to cut the head of Madai and Jagai. So at that time, Nityananda falls at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, no, you can't do this. He says, if you want to do this, then you might as well kill everyone in this world, because they are just as bad as this Jagai and Madai. So Jagai and Madai is said to be so sinful, very sinful, extremely sinful. Even 500 years ago, when people were very nice, they were very bad. So 500 years later, we are all like mini Jagai and Madais, all of us. We have we have done all kinds of nonsense, and some of us still continue to do so, but still, the Nityananda principle or the mercy of Lord Nityananda is freely available. Meaning, if you put your hand out and beg for it, the Lord is willing to give it to you. One time, one disciple told Srila Prabhupada, "My dear Prabhupada, please give us mercy so that I can chant properly. Please, Prabhupada, please, Prabhupada." And then Prabhupada looked at him. "I've already given you the blessings." "No, Prabhupada, you please bless me so that I can chant properly." Then Prabhupada looked and then he said, "It is like this, that there's a man who has fallen into this well in the hole. And then the spiritual master gives him the rope. And he's saying, 'My spiritual master, please make my fingers grab the rope so that I can come up.'" So we cannot, put the onus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and say, "You make me a devotee." He's already taken so many steps. Prabhupada said, for every step you come to the Lord takes 10 steps towards you. So we should be able to put in some effort. And if you do not know, then you should approach those devotees who are practicing, and they can guide you accordingly. So Srila Prabhupada was like that. He was very, very merciful. I will read to you a pastime that happened. Let me see. This was told to us by His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, and this happened in Juhu during the time of Srila Prabhupada. So there was a devotee, and he joined them in Juhu temple in Bombay, or Mumbai now. And both Tamal Krishna Goswami and Giriraj Swami would go around Bombay, whatever. Mumbai, Bombay. So they will go around making life members and collecting funds for the temple construction in Juhu temple. And this devotee was driving them around. So after a while, this devotee got in his mind. He was thinking, sometimes people think too much. So he started to think too much, that he should go on his own and make his own spiritual life. I mean, bear in mind, he's already initiated by Srila Prabhupada. So what he did was, he took up his own lifestyle or living on the Juhu beach. And he joined partners with one, my Guru Maharaj said, one bogi yogi. He's not real yogi, but just, a fake yogi, So with the intention, this bogi yogi was teaching him some tricks or magic. So his intention was, he wanted to learn how to take a coin and put it through this ear and take it out on the other ear. So this is a devotee. So he wanted to learn that from this bogi yogi. And then after a few days later, before he committed fully to the bogi yogi, he went around canvassing to the congregation, just like all of you, saying, give me some funds so that I can, set up my own society of passing coin one year and taking up like that. So anyway, he had that intention. So then Tamal Krishna Maharaj wasn't happy with this. So he approached Srila Prabhupada and said, "Prabhupada, this person, we have to do something. We have to write to the congregation and tell them, warn them about this person, So Prabhupada was a little hesitant in the beginning. Then he said, "No, well, okay, maybe like that." Then finally Srila Prabhupada said, "No, it's okay. I'm not ready to, go against this devotee. Let him be, But when this devotee finally decided to join the bogi yogi in Juhu beach, Tamal Krishna Maharaj couldn't take it anymore. So he went to Srila Prabhupada and said, "Now it has reached the limit. This person is on the beach living with the bogus yogi, trying to learn how to pass a coin from one ear to the other ear." So he said, "Prabhupada, this must end." Finished. So Prabhupada looked at him. He said, Prabhupada looked straight in the eye of Krishna Goswami and said, you do not know about Lord Nityananda's mercy. And then Krishna Maharaj said, why Srila Prabhupada? Then he said, there is no end, there is no limit to the compassion of Lord Nityananda. And so they stopped at that moment. So many, maybe months later, this devotee who was with the Bhogi Yogi came back. So you can understand Srila Prabhupada's compassion. So compassionate. Huh? So when you take up this process nicely, you will be cured by both Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. And there's 5 types of ignorance that you will be cured of. This is by, I think, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that you will get rid of the bodily consciousness. If you take this process seriously, that you will understand that you are not the body, but you are a spirit soul. Second thing is, you will understand that sense gratification is not the goal of life. This sense enjoyment of Krishna is the goal of life. The third thing you will understand is that you will never be in any anxiety. Because whatever you do, you are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. And therefore, anxiety will go away. And the fourth thing is, you do not lament. Right? Now we lament about everything, Lament about this, lament I lost some sales the other day, I forgot, lament I can't watch this show, lament of so many millions of things. So there no more lamenting, because you know clearly the goal of life. Okay? And then the last thing is that you will understand there's only the absolute truth, Sri Krishna, and there's nothing else. Okay? So this is about the mercy of Lord Nityananda through our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. I have 10 more minutes? Okay. Now I can say a little bit of Varaha. Now, as I said earlier, Varahadeva is a form, the Lord takes a specific form, and this form is in the shape of a boar. Okay, for those who don't know what a boar is, it's a pig. Okay, but this is an exceptional form. In one of our acharyas, Jayadev Goswami, he writes this wonderful poem, Vasati Dashana Shikare Dharani Tava Lagna Shashini Kalanka Kala Eva Nimagna Keshavadritta Shukara Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. All glories to Lord Krishna, Keshava, who appeared as the boar incarnation. The earth was held between his tusks, which appeared like the scars on the moon. So this is said to have taken place. There's actually twice the Lord appears as a boar incarnation. The other day, Nayanamrita Prabhu was also mentioning. The first one happened on the first birthday of Brahma, after creation. It's fresh, the first year of creation. And it so happened at that time, the planet Earth somehow or other fell into the ocean, Garbhodaka ocean. It's a very huge universal ocean, and then it fell in there, in that place. And so it is considered that all kinds of unclean things settle in the lower portion of the universe. In our scripture, it explains this: the universe is like a huge bubble, and then half of the universe is filled with these celestial waters like that. And so beyond that are the planetary systems that are floating. So it is said that the earth somehow or other fell into this ocean. And so to pick it up, the Lord took the form of a boar. And Prabhupada writes, to actually locate the planet, he was able to smell it, because the pigs can smell very well, In France and Italy, they use pigs to look for truffles. Yes. So in the same way, the Lord can smell the planet, and then he goes and picks it up and hoists it up. So that's the first time he appears. And that's known as Sveta Varaha. He is whitish in color then. So later on in Chakshusha millennium or Manvantara, the second time he appears, at that time there's this very powerful person, atheistic person, and he wasn't interested in the welfare of the human society, but he was interested in gold. So it is said that he mined so much gold from the planet that the planet couldn't stay in its orbit. So it collapsed and went down. So too much mining is no good, So you can see there's climate changes, there's a lot, tsunamis here, earthquakes there. It's because of the way we are, treating the planet. And then therefore there's retaliation in some form or fashion. And so this planet lost its orbit because of this atheistic person. He was very powerful. He had yogic potency. He could make himself huge, he can grow, or he can make himself tiny. He had all this yogic potency. And so when this planet was out of shape and couldn't stay in orbit, he took it and put it into the bottom of the universe. And so again, the Lord took the form of the boar incarnation, but this time he appeared reddish color. So if you look in the second canto of our Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a picture of that painting there. And that painting was drawn by Jadurani, one of our Srila Prabhupada's leading disciple at that time, who could paint very nicely. So when the Lord brought the earth up and put it in orbit, this demon approached and started fighting with the Lord in aggressive fashion. So finally, the battle went on for a while, and he just slapped him right under the ears, and then he died very easily. And sometimes people think, how is it possible, the Lord can do all these things? Well, the Lord can manifest and do many things, and we cannot simply understand those things. We cannot understand the potency of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord in our conditioned stage, because we are only used to things that are based on our senses. So whatever experience we have, it's limited in this material world. So to understand things that are transcendental, we need to, what we say, purify it, purify our activities or sanctify our activities. And so once again, such practices are outlined in our scriptures and are taught by our teachers. And so if we take up the process and are guided properly, we too can relish and understand and see the qualities of the Lord in a proper way. So, thank you for listening. If there's any comments or questions or corrections, you're free to do so. Otherwise, I'll hand it over to Chirag Prabhu. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Haribol. Help me appreciate Radha Krishna Prabhu. When Radha Krishna Prabhu speaks, we all pay attention to what he has to say today, and which professional sports team or sports he will mention during his conversation, right? Since Super Bowl was last Sunday, I was anticipating Prabhuji's making some comment. Oh, today's the Oscars. Okay. See? Today we have one sponsor for our Sunday Feast program, Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu, in memory of his late mother, Sri Padmavati Devi. Is there anybody here for the first time? Raise your hand. We welcome each and every one of you there. We know Prabhu is our newcomer ambassador today. So as you exit the temple, be sure to stop by at the main table right as you enter and collect a gift from us. So, and we hope to see you here again. Today's cooking is done by the KT Bhakti Vriksha group. We appreciate that. Few upcoming events details. February 13, this Thursday at 7 o'clock is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. We all know who that is, right? That's Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev. So, right there. Right next to Srila Prabhupada. So that's his appearance day. This Thursday, program starts at 7 in the evening. Next day, February 14th, I think all y'all know what that means, right? Right? Everybody goes out and have dinner. Govinda's restaurant is doing a special feast for you and your Valentines. It's all vegan menu. It's a very special price, so hopefully you can go there and give some patronage to our own restaurant next door. February 24th, Monday, at 7 o'clock is Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev's disappearance day, and we will have a program here in the evening. That is Monday at 7 p.m. Gaura Purnima, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, is March 9th. That happens to be on a Monday as well, and the program will start in the evening. There is a special cultural program on March 22nd for Gaura Purnima. His Holiness Romapad Swami Maharaj will be here for his annual Japa retreat, March 13th, 14th, and 15th. If you have not yet registered, there will be devotees in the Gauranga Hall today for you to do your registration. It is only $65 per person. And in order for you to have nice dinner, lunch, breakfast, you will need to register. So if you haven't done so, please do so now. Lord Rama's appearance day, Ramanavami, is coming up April 2nd. April 2nd is, what day is it? Somebody help me, Thursday. April 2nd is a Thursday. That's the actual day of Ramanavami. That Sunday, April 5th, we're having a citywide Ramayan quiz contest. So children from age 7 through 14 only are encouraged to participate. Sachimukhi Mataji can help you with sponsorship. Ravindra Prabhu will be in Gauranga Hall to do registration for your child. You can also do online registration. If you go to our temple's website, click under the events tab, and you will see the Ramayan quiz contest. You must register. There is a deadline of March 20, that you must register if your child is going to be participating in this Ramayan quiz contest. We're also giving you a question on what they're going to quiz you for, right? How many times you get the questions that you'll be quizzed for? And there will be prizes, I assume, right? Okay, so please register your children. Today we have a very special guest, someone that I have known, not only him, but his family as well. I've known his dad and his granddad. So his name is Rish Oberoi. As you can see from his t-shirt, he's running for a position in Texas House District 26. How many of you live in and around Sugarland area? Raise your hand. How many of you know a friend or a family that lives in Sugarland area? Many of you, right? Okay, so that District 26 has never had someone from an Indian origin in the office. This may be a first time for us to do that. So Rish will be here in Gauranga Hall, and he will be happy to give you more information. It is District 26, and he is running, his website is rishfortexas.com. So Rish is R-I-S-H. What a nice name, right? So please welcome Rish. He will be doing Arati. And we wish Rish nothing but the very best. Thank you so much for coming, and we hope you'll be able to participate in offering the Arati lamp, and he will be around in Gauranga Hall if you have any questions. So he can give you more details on the maps and the boundaries, etc., and all the details. We don't do a lot of political discussion here, but he's been a good friend and a good community people that his family brings to our Indian community. So you can see him during the Prasadam time. His Grace Rati Prabhu will be chanting the Kirtan today. Hari Bol.
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा Sri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Harir Nama Harir Namaiva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Nasteva Gatiranyatha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama,